The lemon, a simple, affordable fruit packed with benefits. It's a favorite in many diets and natural recipes, that ingredient that's always there in your morning juice, in the water you sip throughout the day, or even giving that special touch to your salad dressing. Rich in vitamin C, it strengthens the immune system, helps prevent colds and flu, fights inflammation, works as an antioxidant, and even aids digestion. It's refreshing, versatile, and has the power to transform the flavor of dishes and drinks, making everything lighter and tastier. No wonder, for many, it's a faithful companion in the kitchen. But there's one detail almost nobody talks about, and it can turn this health ally into a silent villain. Depending on how you combine lemon, especially after age 60, it can cause serious digestive problems, interfere with the effects of important medications, and even put your heart at risk. And here's the thing, we're not talking about rare or exotic ingredients. These are everyday foods probably sitting right now in your fridge or pantry that you might be consuming daily without realizing. They can cause some very unpleasant reactions when paired with lemon. Today, I'm going to reveal the 3 foods you should never mix with lemon in your senior years. You'll learn why these combinations can be harmful, what symptoms to watch for, and most importantly, how to keep enjoying all the benefits of lemon without harming your health. And I'll warn you in advance. Number 1 on this list is the most dangerous of all, and also the trickiest, because the symptoms it causes can be mistaken for normal signs of aging, delaying a proper diagnosis and often leading to serious complications. That's why I strongly recommend you stay with me until the end of this video. But first, an important disclaimer. This content is purely informational and in no way replaces a consultation with a doctor or nutritionist. Always talk to a healthcare professional before making changes to your diet, especially if you take regular medication or have chronic conditions like diabetes, high blood pressure, or heart problems. Each body is unique, and only a specialist can determine what's safe and appropriate for your case. All right then, let's get to our list. 3rd place, milk and dairy products with lemon. This is a combination that, at first glance, seems harmless. After all, lemon and milk show up together in many homemade recipes, desserts, smoothies, and even traditional drinks, like the famous milk with lemon that back in the day many people took as a home remedy for coughs. The problem is that when these 2 ingredients meet, an immediate chemical reaction takes place. The citric acid in lemon comes into contact with the proteins in milk, mainly casein, and causes coagulation. It's the same effect you see when milk curdles to make homemade cheese. Inside the stomach, this coagulation creates denser, more compact clumps that are much harder for digestive enzymes to break down. This means digestion becomes slower, heavier, and demands much more effort from the gastrointestinal system. When we're young, the body usually handles this challenge well, since stomach acid, hydrochloric acid, and digestive enzyme production are at full strength. But in our senior years, the story changes. It's natural that over time, the body produces less gastric acid and fewer enzymes, making the digestion of heavier foods like milk and dairy products slower and more taxing. And when you add lemon to the mix, you're practically giving your stomach a double challenge. The result can be abdominal discomfort, heartburn, gas, a feeling of fullness, and, in some cases, even acid reflux. It's worth noting that for those with lactose intolerance, something very common after age 50, even in people who never had symptoms before this mixture, can make matters worse, triggering cramps, diarrhea, bloating. That's why the recommendation is clear. If you enjoy milk and dairy, consume them at a separate time from lemon. Give your body the time it needs to digest each food properly and avoid this extra digestive workload. So, what happens when you mix lemon with milk and dairy? For many people, especially after age 60, the effects can appear within minutes or even hours after eating. The most common include a heavy feeling right after eating, as if the food is just sitting in the stomach, heartburn, and reflux, causing that uncomfortable burning sensation rising up to the throat, excessive gas, leading to bloating and even pain, and in some cases, diarrhea, due to poor digestion and intestinal irritation. And here's a very important detail that almost nobody mentions: excessive acidity during the digestion of milk, when combined with lemon, can interfere with calcium absorption, a nutrient that's essential for keeping bones strong, preventing fractures, and reducing the risk of osteoporosis. In other words, in trying to take care of your health, you might actually be weakening one of the body's most important systems. The skeletal system, how to avoid this problem. If you enjoy both milk and lemon, the solution is simple. Keep them separate in time. Ideally, leave a gap of 2 to 3 hours between consuming one and the other. This rule applies to everything: yogurts, fresh cheeses, smoothies, and recipes that combine both ingredients, safe substitutions, to add acidity or freshness to milk-based recipes. Choose less acidic fruits, like papaya or pear. If you insist on using lemon, opt for plant-based milks, such as almond, oat, or coconut milk, which don't react the same way in the stomach and are much easier to digest now. If this first mix can already cause so much discomfort, imagine what happens when lemon interacts with stimulating beverages, and worse, with long-term medications. Second place: coffee, caffeinated teas, and medications with lemon. This combination is especially dangerous for 2 reasons. It significantly increases stomach acidity and can alter how medications work in your body. Starting with acidity, coffee, black tea, and green tea are already naturally stimulating for the digestive system. As they boost gastric acid production, when you add lemon, which is also acidic, you create a real overload for the stomach. For those with gastric sensitivity, gastritis, ulcers, or reflux, this combination is like throwing gasoline on a fire. The burning sensation worsens, inflammation intensifies, and the discomfort can last all day. And the second point is even more concerning. Lemon, due to its citric acid and vitamin C, can alter the stomach's pH, speeding up the absorption of certain substances. This means that if you take a medication along with lemon, or shortly after consuming lemon, the medication's effect can hit faster and stronger than intended. At first glance, this might seem like an advantage, but it's not. Medications for blood pressure, the heart, anxiety, depression, or even for controlling arrhythmias need to be absorbed gradually and steadily to work safely in the body. When that doesn't happen, the result can be dangerous. Possible side effects of this interaction: sudden drop in blood pressure, leaving the person feeling weak and dizzy, palpitations and a sensation of a racing heartbeat, severe dizziness, increasing the risk of falls, tremors in the hands or throughout the body, anxiety, restlessness, and even panic attacks, especially in people sensitive to caffeine. And to make matters worse, this interaction can go unnoticed. Many times, the person thinks they're just feeling the normal effects of the medication or the drink, when in reality, it's the excess acidity and the altered absorption rate causing the problem. But essential if you take important medications. Avoid mixing them with coffee or caffeinated teas when you're also consuming lemon. And there's more. This excess acidity doesn't just affect the stomach. It can also impair the absorption of essential nutrients, like iron and vitamin B12. 2 elements that are often already lower in the bodies of many older adults. Iron deficiency can lead to anemia, causing constant fatigue, shortness of breath, and a weakened immune system. Vitamin B12 deficiency directly affects the brain and nervous system, potentially causing memory loss, difficulty concentrating, and even symptoms of depression. How to avoid this problem? Never take medications with lemon juice, tea, or coffee with lemon. Always use water. This simple swap greatly reduces the risks. If you enjoy tea with lemon, choose caffeine-free options like chamomile, fennel, lemongrass, or mint. Leave at least a 2-hour gap between having coffee or caffeinated tea and consuming lemon, so your body has time to process each drink separately. Now, if second place already carries so many risks, first place is even more delicate and also the trickiest of all. It involves an essential nutrient for life, but in excess, it can become a silent poison, capable of directly affecting your heart. First place, potassium-rich foods. With lemon, for those taking certain heart medications, potassium is essential for the human body. It helps regulate heartbeat, aids muscle contraction, controls the pressure inside cells, and maintains fluid balance in the body. Without it, the body simply can't function properly. But, like any nutrient, it needs to stay in balance. When potassium levels in the blood get too high, a condition called hyperkalemia occurs, And that's where the danger lies. Where does lemon come into this story? Because it's rich in citric acid and vitamin C. Lemon boosts the absorption of several minerals, including potassium. This means that if you consume potassium-rich foods, along with lemon, absorption can be stronger and faster than expected. For healthy people who don't take medications that affect potassium, this is usually not a serious problem. But for those taking certain medications, this combination can be risky and even deadly. Among these medications are ACE inhibitors, used to treat high blood pressure and heart failure, angiotensin, 2 receptor blockers ARBs, also prescribed for blood pressure and heart problems. Potassium-sparing diuretics, such as spironolactone, which help eliminate fluid but retain potassium in the body. These medications already have the side effect of raising potassium levels in the blood. And when you add potassium-rich foods plus lemon's absorption-boosting action, the risk of hyperkalemia skyrockets. Why is this dangerous? Because when potassium gets too high, it interferes with the heart's electrical activity. This can lead to severe arrhythmias and, in extreme cases, cardiac arrest. What's most alarming is that the early symptoms of hyperkalemia are often subtle and easy to confuse with the so-called normal signs of aging. Among them, unusual fatigue. Even after a good night's sleep, unexplained muscle weakness, tingling or numbness in the hands and feet, irregular heartbeat, or the sensation of skipped beats in the chest. Many people ignore these signs or assume they're simply a consequence of aging. But in reality, they may be a warning that something serious is happening. How to avoid it if you take any of the medications mentioned earlier. Limit your intake of foods like bananas, avocados, sweet potatoes, spinach, beans, and coconut water. When you're also having lemon in the same meal, opt for fruits and vegetables with lower potassium content, such as apples, pears, lettuce, cucumber, strawberries, or watermelon. Always talk to your doctor or nutritionist before changing your diet, especially if you've ever had abnormal potassium test results. How to enjoy lemon safely? Lemon remains a great ally for your health, as long as it's used the right way. Here are some safe ways to include it in your daily routine. Drink warm lemon water in the morning, away from meals, and without adding other potassium-rich foods or caffeine. Use lemon to season salads, always paired with olive oil and fresh herbs. This combo even helps boost antioxidant absorption. Add lemon to caffeine-free teas like chamomile or fennel for a calming and digestive effect. Avoid overdoing it. 1 to 2 lemons a day is more than enough to get the benefits without overloading your body. In the end, the secret is balance. Lemon can be a powerful ally, but, as we've seen today, some seemingly harmless combinations can turn a friend of your health into a silent enemy. By knowing these precautions, you keep all the benefits and avoid the risks. Let's recap to lock it into memory. Third place, milk and dairy with lemon, a combo that slows digestion, increases stomach discomfort, and can even impair calcium absorption, weakening bones over time. 2 ND place, coffee, caffeinated teas, and medications with lemon, a duo of acidity and interference with medication action, which can cause drops in blood pressure, palpitations, and other dangerous symptoms. 1. Sint place, potassium-rich foods with lemon. For those taking certain heart medications, a real risk of hyperkalemia, which can trigger severe arrhythmias and even cardiac arrest. If your goal is to use lemon to improve your health, keep your distance from these combinations and stick to foods that boost its benefits, safe and powerful. Lemon combinations. Warm lemon water first thing in the morning to stimulate digestion and hydrate the body. Green leaf salad with lemon, olive oil, and fresh herbs, an antioxidant combo for the heart. Baked fish with lemon and rosemary, strengthening cardiovascular health. Chamomile tea with lemon slices, perfect for relaxing and sleeping better. Chickpeas or lentils with a splash of lemon to boost iron absorption from these foods. Simple, nutritious, and safe to include in your daily routine. And remember, information is the foundation for living with more energy, health, and independence. Here on the channel, every week you'll find valuable tips to take care of your heart, circulation, memory, and overall well-being. So go ahead and subscribe turn on the notification bell, and follow every new video because your health can't wait. If this video was useful for you, click like so more people can receive this alert. Share it with family and friends, especially those over 60, and comment below. Have you ever made any of these combinations without knowing the risk? And before you go, I have a special gift for you, the Natural Healing Guide, a complete ebook packed with natural, safe, and affordable solutions to control blood pressure, sleep better, improve digestion, and even help manage diabetes. You'll find tips on teas, herbs, oils, foods, and practical solutions, all organized in a clear, direct, and easy-to-apply way for everyday life. The link is in the first pinned comment of this video.